Welcome to Solo Foundry. I am Conroy. I am a software engineer and slash like to build things, businessy things. So the Solo Foundry is learning how to create products using no-code tools. So no-code means that you don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to hire a programmer. If you have an idea to create an app, there are tools out there that will let you do that. So in this stream, we started with this idea of taking public domain books, ones that are out of copyright and that anybody can use for whatever purpose, and then running them through a text-to-speech translator. And what comes out is actually pretty cool. The tool that we've been using is Poly. It's Amazon's thing. They have these neural voices, which are actually quite fantastic. So I have had, as an example, this voice Brian reading the Sherlock Holmes Hound of the Baskervilles. And actually last night I also ran that same text through and had Emma read it. And I was listening to it last night, and yeah, I'm a big fan of both of these. So I'm hoping to do that with other books, but instead of just, it does cost money to translate them. And instead of just doing that for myself, I figured, let's see if we can't, let other people access them. But since it costs money to translate and to store and to have people download it and stuff like that, we'll see if we can make an actual business and see if people actually pay, a pretty minimal amount just for those audio files. So let me check this real quick. All right. Yep. All right. So I last night stayed up probably too late, and if you watched the previous stream, you can hear me kind of like going downhill, getting a little bit more cynical. And yeah, so where I had left off, we had made this app using a tool called Glide, and I really liked it. I did. This was when we were still thinking, or I was still thinking that maybe I'd do like an actual audiobook app. I'll also open up DraftBit while we're here. I'm going with the name Ironic Audiobooks just because it's classic literature read by artificial intelligence. I think it's silly. There's no way Arthur Conan Doyle could have imagined a future, in 1902, wherein, let alone computers, let alone the internet, let alone artificial intelligence, that his work would survive that long and be read by these algorithms. I love it. I just think it's so neat. So this is what we made using Glide. Glide just uses a plain old spreadsheet, and it's a Google spreadsheet. And this blows me away. This is my first time. I've heard of Glide a few times. I've recommended it to people, but I'd never used it myself. I'm still blown away by it. The speed and ease with which we were able to put some of this stuff together, even down to being able to embed. I'm going to do the man on the tour. You can put this audio file in here and stuff. It's pretty fantastic. I'm really impressed. And here's the actual spreadsheet that goes with it. You can see here's our books tab, Hound of the Baskervilles, and it's got the different chapters that have their durations, right? So you can see how that mapped to this. We had started even earlier. I don't know. I keep saying we. I had started even earlier. I don't know. Are you helping along? Are you just watching me? Am I doing it? I know nobody's actually watching, so it's a moot point, I guess. But still, it's good. Maybe someday this will help somebody. So I had, speaking of which, this is a restream chat to see if anybody does comment. I can get back to them. So yeah, if you have any questions. I'd actually started out with DraftBit. So the idea of doing the audiobook app, I was going to go full in and actually do like a coded audiobook app. and put it in like the Play Store and stuff. And that's not necessarily off the table, but one of the I really wanted to do this no code and not have to dig in and actually. I am a programmer by trade. That's my day job. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's that I really want to do examples of what you can do without knowing how to program. So this is a really cool app, DraftBit, and it lets you do like you can even pull stuff from data sources and you export it, and it's an actual this is actual code. This is the sort of stuff that I would write for clients and have written React Native mobile apps. So it's pretty neat. You can even hook up these data sources and pull data from an API. A lot of these tools are really so new, and I'm talking about like this one's still in private beta. All of these have only been around for like a year. This is such a new area. People are it's exploding and it's fantastic. But one of the downsides of this is that not all the features are there. And so unfortunately, the way that DraftBit pools its information and the way that I was looking at doing Contentful is that's how I was going to do the storing of the data and stuff like that. They weren't compatible. And so that was kind of frustrating. That's when I ended up going to Glide. And then when I realized that, this isn't a very good audiobook experience, right? It's just, you wouldn't be able to do sleep timers and you wouldn't be able to even do like autoplay to the next chapter. That was kind of a bummer. So that's why this keeps getting scoped down and down and down and down and down to now to the point of just selling the MP3s. Yeah, the goal is to have this out there, to have people be able to use it, to have enough money to cover the cost of doing the translations and the hosting and that sort of stuff. So I looked at a whole bunch of these, they call them e-commerce platforms for digital products. So as opposed to Shopify is very much centered around physical products and the shipping and the tracking and taxes and weight calculations and quantities and stuff like that. If you've ever used Shopify, which I have, I built out a pretty extensive one for a farm that I used to work at. Yeah, it's really feature rich. It's a great tool. They theoretically have the ability to do digital products. They have an add-on that they've created. Unfortunately, if you look at their Shopify App Store, that plugin has terrible ratings, and everybody says it doesn't deliver it, and it's all broken. And that was just very recently, even it was back in January. So, yeah, not going to go that route. Plus, to be honest, it's a little bit of overkill. It's got a lot of stuff in there. So instead, started looking around at alternatives and found a whole bunch, which I'm not going to go back through, except the ones that I actually dug into. This is one called BigCommerce. And it's a pretty nice looking site. The back end, right, you can put things in categories, and it's a downloadable product. So up here in the images and videos, these are things that you can, I guess this just goes on the page, but the product files is where you can put the actual files that you're going to send to people. So I did that, and I sent one to myself. Created a free promo code, and yeah, the email, it worked as I expected to. Let me open it back up. Your order confirmation. Yep. So you can go to this download files, and then here's the two different thing with the voices, Brian and Emma. So, yep, it's pretty neat. I think I forget. I'm so confused now at this point. There's one of them that I had read about. Oh, yeah, and it was another one that I had opened. Some of them will do this automatic recontacting people. So like if I were to update and add like a new voice or a new version of it or something like that, people would get that email automatically. One of the big things is whether or not they charge for hosting. So there's like a lot of different pricing things, right? So BigCommerce. Yeah. So they don't have any additional transaction fees. They don't charge you for product storage or the bandwidth. So that's amazing. All in all, this actually seems like a really great tool, right? Considering that it's only $30 a month. I think if I do monthly, yeah, okay. But so I don't know why. I'm just not quite sold. I don't want to like Bikeshed on this and spend a lot more time. Splitting hairs on how to sell it, but I just feel like if I came to this site, I wouldn't necessarily go for it. It just doesn't have that sort of like, I don't know, it's a modern aesthetic. This is a very like 10 years ago aesthetic. No offense. Although, it's kind of obvious by this is actually, I played with this morning, trying to be able to add in this stuff, like the players that you can see down here. And I found actually if I host the files on their server, you can't actually stream them. So I have to host them on my own. So that's like another cost for the storage and the streaming. Not for the downloading of the actual like zip files, but I'd have to keep those in sync, and that's kind of a bummer. But I also had to go into this HTML view, and like honestly, I'm not gonna lie, when I was in here, I was like, oh man, if I have to do this for like 100 books, I'm gonna be so frustrated because this is a terrible source editor. This is like, look at this. This is like the skin is from. Is this from Windows XP? Right? When did they introduce those buttons in Windows? Right? And this looks like the old Word, like Word 97 or something like that. Anyways, it's not like a diss on the product. It's just like I'm thinking about the flow of using this every day, plus the fact if I was like a customer coming here, okay, so maybe not doing that one. So I thought I might go back to this one, Selfie or Selfie. I'm going to go Selfie because I like that. It is it's a much more modern aesthetic. I don't know what it is. It's just these like the fonts are quite different and the weights in the way that they use them. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's one of those things. Designs are one of those things that's like it's easy to recognize good versus bad design. It's very hard to actually like make it happen, in my opinion. I'm not a designer by trade, but so let me look back at their features. I think I was looking at the stream from yesterday. I think one of the things that got me was the previews, the sound previews, and I think I found a way around that in here with these, right? So I'm wondering if I go back to here, if that would solve that. So, yeah, custom domains, mobile devices. I do like their payment page, emailing, tracking, traffic, integrations. Yeah, I didn't really like that SoundCloud thing. It would be great if I already had a SoundCloud, but I started going through and having to upload all the samples to it, and it was just like, didn't really want to. Yes, I'm lazy, but that's kind of the point. Trying to be lazy. And then, so what's the pricing on this? Okay, so $30 a month, unlimited products, 0% transaction fees. So I think they had talked about the bandwidth. Streaming, download. Let's see this digital downloads, because I feel like they talked about how much. And this is the other thing that I was thinking, okay, well, if I can't get it quite right, maybe I can do an embed and a buy now. But let's start with the storefront. Email marketing, upselling, pay what you want. Okay, yeah, unlimited product and bandwidth, as much products as you want, no extra cost. Cool. Large file support, digital files up to 10 gigabytes per product. Awesome. So, yep, that's awesome. Yep. So I already have an account because I did this yesterday. Let me go ahead and log in, and let's see if we can't. Let's see what it actually looks like. And actually, while I do that, I'll be right back. Un segundo. Back. Cool. So let's look at this one more time. This is the Hound of the Baskervilles. That's to overcome the fees and PayPal and everything take like 35% or like 30% plus a fee. Yeah, so we don't need this variant. One of the things I was gonna remove were these because I don't like it. But instead, adding in just the regular file. Yes. I think that's the same thing, right? If I did that, add an image. Okay. Unlimited stock. How can I see it? Is that preview? Yeah. Cool. So instead of audiobooks here, we can put the different categories. Hound of the Baskervilles. Okay, so here's the big question. Can I go in here and let's take this stuff. So okay, hold on. Let's get rid of stuff. These two are broken. Right, I think these just do the default anyways. I think it wasn't respecting those. All right, so let's take these two out real quick, and let's just put these in and say, okay, voices, and can we make this a bigger font? Meh. Yeah, that didn't really help. Okay, let's get this full thing again. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, crap. This first two. All right, we'll get this eventually. So I don't know if it still counts as no code if I am coding. This is HTML. But let's just see what this looks like. Theoretically, this is very accessible though, the HTML part, hopefully. And it does not support the audio element. Oh no. Crappity crap. Selfie.com. That makes me sad. So I'm wondering. Look crap. So it doesn't let me do audio embeds. Control Command Space. Oh, I had no idea you could do that. Well, that was worth it. Control Command Space. Dee-dee! All right. Well, dang and blast. Your browser does not support the audio element. So I still would have to do the previews through the SoundCloud, and I really didn't like that. A, it was pain. B, it didn't work well. They put it up here in the header. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. Crappity crap. Well, okay, so there's one more I haven't looked at, Webflow. So they have on their e-commerce, they say theoretically that digital products are coming. They have like a compare box down here. Product management, nope. Digital goods, coming soon. So Shopify, they say it lets you do that, but Squarespace, WooCommerce, is that like is that a plugin for WordPress, or do they just have a plugin? Yeah, okay. Definitely not going down the WordPress side. Okay, I haven't checked out Shopify for this, so let's just see. I think I have a login though already from that previous time that I worked on it. And I have to block it out because my password thingamabob will actually show you the password. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. We can turn this back on. Sit tight. I think I said this last night, but even though it's been frustrating to have all these other things fall apart, it's been really cool to see each of the different tools and what's possible, what's not possible. Um, these are all tools that I've heard of, but never used until just now. So, mm, okay. I'm going to put this back in the other mode so you don't see like my phone number and stuff. Doop 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 doop. All right. Should be good. Okay. Digital downloads. Let's do it. I can't tell you how many times I've entered this. So many times. Let's get it from here. Hounds of the Baskervilles. Nope. All right, we got this thing. Don't track quantities. This is not a physical product. No variants. All right. Let's see the preview. We'll make sure that we turn off this disable badger. What is the actual product that we're delivering? That's kind of not really. So what happens if I were to like take these two? Okay. All right, so Shopify digital products. Okay, there's actually a whole bunch of different ones. That's pretty cool. A lot of them. Okay. Okay. $10 a month. Is a max 1 gigabyte what? Is that max 1 gigabyte file, max 1 gigabyte downloads, max 1 gigabyte all storage? Okay. Wow, for paying more, I can store it on my own? Thanks. Gee, golly. It's not that I don't mind storing on my own, it's just that doesn't make very much sense, but Skypilot. So each one of these zip files that I'm looking at least for the Hounds of Baskerville, is 150 megs. So the two of them, right, the two different voices would be 300 megs. So I could store 3 books for a gig. Yeah, I guess this could work. But then again, downloading it, so 250 gigs or 20 gigs, right? So if I could store 3 books, or that's actually like 6 zip files, right? So that'd be 120 downloads a month, which if we're doing $1 each, that means that it's 10% just for this plugin. Not to mention the pricing of Shopify itself. Can I close the stream output? So Shopify pricing. So it's $29 a month, plus each transaction they take 3%, plus the 30 cents, plus 2%. So that's 5% plus 30 cents. On $1, that's 35 cents, so 65 cents. 65 cents is what I would get, and so $29 a month, 65 cents. So I'd need to sell 45 just to break even on Shopify. So I really don't know what to expect as far as the sales, so I don't really know if it's worth it. How much? What was the other thing I was looking at? Webflow pricing, $29 a month. Okay, so they're all going to be about the same, I guess. Now that I think about it, I guess I just never did that math until just now. I think I've got a block against Shopify, not because they're not a great company, or because I don't believe in what they're doing, or because I don't love, I love their story. I worked on that one project, and it was just very long, and it dragged on, and it was difficult, and there was a million changes, and so I think I've just got some baggage. Surprise. Okay, delivered. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. This is just, the last couple weeks. I get customer complaints every day. I don't want customer complaints. Yeah. So what's the solution? Right. This is great. Buy it now. Checkout isn't available. Yeah, because I just started the store. One of the things you can do, and maybe this is getting too much into it, you can actually edit these emails somewhere. So here's two questions. So if I uploaded these two, and then I also uploaded 20 megabyte max. Crap. It's so weird trying to hack together stuff using these other systems. I'm definitely not used to it. And like I said, I'm trying not to take too much into my own hands. I'm trying to keep this as accessible. If I didn't know how to program and I didn't know much about all this stuff, what would I do? I guess I would try one of these plugins. So let's see one that isn't terrible. Okay, but they had the pricing, didn't they? I mean, the max. Sorry, max gig, max 20 gigs. 100 products is 50 books. Five gigs definitely too few. 15 gigs for 39 versus 20 gigs for 29. 50 products. Dropbox. I never thought about Dropbox. Using Dropbox to deliver downloads. Okay, so I've got a Dropbox. I don't know what's in this Dropbox though. Didn't know that I had another account. Okay, yeah, I didn't think so. Let me hide the stream again. Just one sec. All right, it is saying to it had a pop-up. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna go to apps, audiobooks, data, books, Hound of the Baskervilles, and then we'll check both of these. I think I have professional, but I guess I had it. How much is professional? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm only paying $120 a year, not $200 a year. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I don't want it to disappear after 7 days. So I don't know that this is the right tool. Okay. I mean, could I just do the full link and just forget about the expiration? Okay, so theoretically, I've got this, right? I wonder how much they would let me do that. I think this is the answer. "200 gigabytes and unlimited downloads per day." So at 100 megabytes, let's say 200, that is 1,000 downloads per day. That would be pretty lofty. So yeah, let's try this. Let's try hosting it on Dropbox for now. And then, oh yeah, that doesn't help with how are we gonna, man, I feel like I'm making this harder than I need to. I'm sure if you're watching me, you're like, yeah, doesn't need to be this hard, bro. Email template. Settings, notifications, email subject. Where did Shopify go? Settings, notifications. All right, so order confirmation. Do they have like product? So, got lost in my own head for a second. I remember editing these before. This is a language called Liquid. It's a templating language that pretty much uses Ruby annotations, syntax. Not exactly, but somewhat. Like Ruby doesn't actually have this pipe, but yeah. So what you can do is like loop through stuff and like do like we can include like a download link, for example. So say that we went into products. I'm going to stay back on that page. Let's say that we went into products and then we added like a custom. And this is really all those plugins are doing actually, but let's add a custom attribute, which you can do where? Shopify custom attributes. Do you have to like turn this on or is it a plugin? I know I did this before. Meta fields. Meta field apps. Was it not really? I thought it was a default thing. Okay. Well, we could put a meta field and put a download link in it. This all still seems kind of weird. Let me think about it for a minute. I'll be back in again. Okay, so I realized two things. One of the things that I had in my head was maybe people just pay one big chunk and they can download like any of them. So you take like the maximum that it would cost somebody if they downloaded all of the audiobooks and all the different variations. That could be a thing. Or yeah, that could be a thing. But if we went back to that Webflow, ecommerce, they had the comparison. I realized there was something on there. Is maybe if you were watching, you would have seen it. So we tried Shopify. I tried BigCommerce. WooCommerce I don't want to do because it's WordPress. And I was like, well, I guess there's no options. Squarespace. Now, I also have a block against Squarespace. It's not their fault at all. I self-traumatized, I guess. Around the same time that I was doing the Shopify site, I had an idea for a kind of a plugin for Squarespace. And so I went down that route and it seemed really promising, and then I just gave up on it. And I think to this day I kind of kick myself. And I kept up the kind of marketing site for it for a long time. So I was paying like $20 a month, $20 a month, $20 a month. And it was kind of frustrating. And then I had the domain name for that. I actually got contacted by Square, like the other payment company, saying that I was infringing on their copyright and all that stuff. And so it was pretty stressful. So all in all, I have a bunch of baggage around this. But let's give it a shot, because honestly, at this point, my goal was to have the ability for, to have 12 books up there. And at this point, I have got nothing, and it's almost 4 p.m. And I would love to just get this done and then get back to enjoying the actual translating and that sort of stuff. So let me create a site. And so I need to block the screen again. All right. What is your site about? Goals are to sell products. That'd be it. We are got the hobby. Okay, so here's the one thing I do have against Squarespace is that I don't know. I don't really like any of the themes. Honestly, it's an aesthetic that I'm not really a fan of. Ugh. They're not that they're not good. It's just they're not my particular taste, you know. So, but let's just see what the digital download is like, and maybe that's something we can fix later. What is the least worst one? I can't find the least worst. Jeez, it's so bad. Like, seriously, no offense, but what the heck? That looks so terrible. Oh my gosh. Ugh. That looks like for this to be one of the only like shop themes for a site called Squarespace, they're huge. And this looks like it was made by this is like a middle school HTML CSS project. This is like a beginner making this. And so I don't have anything against it except I can't believe this is the best that they have to offer. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I know that makes me sound like a jerk. Maybe I am a jerk. Unless they're saving, do they have like premium templates? It's like paid stuff. Maybe then I'll just start with the pickle one, and maybe I can buy one that doesn't. Ugh. Anyway, let's see what the digital products part of it is like. Um, All right, for like the millionth time, let's see if we can even embed the thing. $2.99, $1.49 on sale. Additional info. Can I do HTML, audio? I can do an audio. Cool. I can upload a thing. Let's do Brian. This is Brian Mail UK. Okay. We can do voices. Make it like a heading 3, heading 2, heading 1. Let's just do text. Okay, so far I'm appreciating that you can actually upload. This is actually pretty cool. Emma. Okay. Design, minimal, light. Let's go back to Brian. Okay, form. Hound of the Baskervilles. Custom. Crime and mystery. And then fiction. Save. So I wonder if I need to do, like, combine both of them. All right, the Hound of the Basker. And then if, just to make sure, if I were to like put that into, maybe I can play around with what the like the file names and that sort of stuff. I was thinking about this last night actually. I need to do the ID3 tagging stuff, because these MP3s were created just by Amazon. They don't have, they don't have any additional, like, if you put them into iTunes, it doesn't make any sense. I can show you that. I already tried putting them in iTunes. You can see it doesn't have any artist, album, genre. Right. Stupid U2 album that they made everybody download. When was that? 2014. Man, I'm getting old. Squarespace digital product bandwidth limit. The file size is 300 megs. Upload a file, add pricing, save. I should add, okay, so we'll just, while we're waiting on Shopify to keep uploading, some more to-do stuff. So, organize the zip files. Add ID3 tags. Import. And then I wanted to add to the intro. Alrighty, this is taking a little bit of time. Last night my internet went out. I think it might have been because, I wonder. I had done like 30 gigs that day. Usually this is up in the hundreds, maybe 200s. So I don't know. Maybe we got throttled. I should probably look into that. Seems to. They're all just so minimal. I think that's the term that I'm not really into it. Like this is starting to get, oh, yeah, templates, premium. See if there's any third-party ones. Is that even possible? Mashable, I swear, if this is just their default ones, then I know you are a show. Yeah. I often use a thing called Theme Forest. I've got Squarespace. Huh. I wonder if that means it's not possible. Yeah, it's all way too minimal for me personally. Still going. Cool. All right. So, yeah, once this gets uploaded, it'd be cool to see what you can actually, like what it looks like when you purchase this. What does that email look like? The checkout process, that sort of stuff. Actually, even just seeing what the product details page looks like. But so far, it's cool. The things that I do like is that here in the additional info, like it had a space already for audio. That's the first place that, I haven't had to trick into putting some audio files. So that's a big plus. Didn't take any code to do that. Um, yeah, and the fact that, I mean, it's a big file when you combine them into one zip, but the 24-hour expiring link is cool. I wonder how many like customer service requests that's going to take. Um, hopefully not too many. But yeah, the template is definitely a big thing. Like I would like this style. I like the Shopify style a lot. Um, and I even like what's a shop? No, Selfie. I like this style a lot too. Um, but it just couldn't get this one to work. I tried to embed the audio on Selfie and it didn't really work. It actually like edited it back out. And then on the Shopify, it's not like digital product deliveries are not natively supported. So maybe they might get to that at some point, but adding on another, third party app that you have to depend on, and all of them have, these different reviews saying it didn't work and that sort of stuff. Um, right. And plus you're paying, some of those were going up to another like $40 a month, and they were hosting, your files, but they had limits on storage and they had limits on downloads. So it just didn't seem like it looked like it was going to be a ceiling, right? It's like a third-party dependency and a ceiling going that direction on the Shopify's. I don't know if this is actually a person. So hi, by the way, if you're a real person on the Twitches, you can comment on here. I think it'll come through. So what I'm doing is I had started by thinking that I would make like an audiobook app to sell these, so like classic literature. So the one that I've been using as an example is The Hound of the Baskervilles. It's a Arthur Conan Doyle Sherlock Holmes story, and putting it through Amazon Web Services Poly, which is this text to speech thing, which these neural like languages voices actually sound really good. So I want to do that with a bunch of them, but I don't want to, it costs money to translate them and that sort of stuff. So I was figuring like, hey, maybe other people want them too. Let's see if we can like make an app without coding. Even though I'm a programmer, I'm really excited about this no code stuff where you don't have to, you can build really cool things without necessarily getting into code. So I went down that route, and then I realized, like actually at the end of the day, I don't want to build an audiobook app because, man, it would take a lot of code actually. Even going the low code route of DraftBit, like getting 80% of the way there, that last 20% with, things like caching the files and like the nighttime, the sleep timer and call ducking for when, the like a call comes in, like pausing it and stuff like that, interacting with, you like Bluetooth, like you can start and stop things. I was just like, man, there's already a bunch of audiobook players out there. I don't know that it makes sense to try to build another one. So how about instead we just sell the MP3s? So that's been like the last day or so has been looking at like, how do you even sell digital products, specifically these digital audio downloads? And so I've tried out probably like a dozen of these different platforms so far. And the one that we're trying right now is Squarespace. And so far, like I was saying, it's pretty cool. The other ones have had issues in one way or the other. The one that's come the closest was BigCommerce, but I don't know why. I just didn't feel like that was the right approach. One of the things was I would have to separately host the audio previews on my own like server, which I had done on Amazon Web Services. Has a thing called S3. You can get through it just using, this is the Mac tool CyberDuck, which is just a funny little icon. But you can host these files, right? But you're paying per month to host them. You're paying whenever people stream them, and every time you load the page, it's streaming. Whatever, how many previews is starting to download those. So it's like every page view, you're getting more and more bandwidth charges, even for people that aren't necessarily going to purchase. So it just seemed like that could add up to, and it's not that, I'm not trying to necessarily premature optimize. I'm just trying to think about like, I don't want to wake up one morning and have $30,000, what was this, Firebase bill. This is a video that I had seen the other day that, these people thought that they were just showing like a regular donation, like who's donated to our campaign, counter like, hey, we've had, these 140 people and, the average donation was like $27. We've raised $100,000 or whatever. That didn't add up math wise, but the way that they were programming it was every time the page loaded, it was doing like 16,000 reads. And so at the end of the, like in 3 days, they got a $30,000 bill. So I'm trying not to get to that. I don't want to wake up and have that problem. I also don't want to have a whole bunch of like customer service, my download's not working and I didn't get the file, and everybody that was on Shopify, these different plugins were talking about that. So I'm crossing my fingers. Let's see, 222 megabytes. Let's see what this looks like. I think I said my main my main issue with this one is that I don't really like the themes on here. So, yeah. Ironic audiobooks. How do I go and actually see my page? Okay, that's not in there for some reason. Inventory. I get it. It's a premium feature. It's cool. How do I make it a thing? Did this other one have like pagination? Do I need to go on like page 2? I'm gonna delete these Brian things because yeah, they're nice pictures, but all the Brians. Delete. So let's see. Okay. Okay. Hard refresh. Maybe this will fix it. So it's kind of big. We got a sale. I don't like that pink, but Hound of the Baskervilles. Add to cart. The voices. Cool. That's a really nice player, actually. It's way better than the default like HTML audio player where. Okay. Sorry, I think my words got mixed up because I'm listening to words and trying to talk. All right, so let's see what the cart. Whoa. Let's see what the cart process looks like. I guess that went. Checkout. I guess I can't do checkouts because I don't have set up anything. Oh, they're gonna let me do a fake one. Cool. Fake Street. All right. Yeah. Okay, but I really want to see what that looks like. Come on. Squarespace preview digital download email. I don't know. Also, that's a really big photo over here. Like the one I uploaded isn't even that big, so it's getting like all stretched out. So what does the email look like? Can I customize the email? Yeah, see, that's huge. Okay, well, maybe I need to maybe I need to play around with some of the design stuff. Product items. What can I customize on here? What full? Hmm. I like that more. It's not nearly as big. I do it even smaller. I like the right align, yeah. Form width. Yeah, maybe we don't do anything when we click. Go back. Product items. Uh-oh. Maybe you didn't save it? Wasn't that the settings I was just playing with? I don't know why I didn't save those. Inset. Standard. Left align. Product navigation, none. Gallery width, 30%. Design, stacked, placement, right. Thumbnail placement below. Yeah. Okay. Save. What else can we change? Fonts. Mixed. I've always heard that you should mix serif and sans serif. I don't know where I heard that though. But I like sans for the headers and then serif for like the main text. I don't know what's going on here. Come on. How do you go back? Shop. This one, design, fonts. All right. I wonder why it's so like, there's a big gap there. I can't tell if this is like just lagging or if I'm not doing it right. Anyway. Colors. Um, color palette generator. I'm gonna try to close some of these things because it's definitely taking a toll. All right, close some of these. Weird. I'm not sure I like that. Let's just do material UI colors. So I know that I like the indigo. Put that in here. For this one. See, that looks so much better already. It's not rocket science. What is this? Light? This one is dark. Actually, let's do that for dark. What would that look like? What about for this one, we do the brighter blue? Nope, I don't like it. Let's go back to the other one. Indigo. Although I've always loved this color. Yeah, it kind of conflicts with the book cover. I don't think this dark blue will. Okay, and then this one, I don't know what the dark color is supposed to be. Okay, so we'll go with kind of a dark gray like they're doing. Let's do 700, 800. All right. Oops. Back to design. Spacing. Buttons. I like the rounded. I don't really like having to make a theme, by the way, because I'm not I wouldn't consider myself a designer at all. Button color, button color, button color. Let's get that indigo back. See, that's not the end of the world. Header border color, header alignment left. I don't know what these are. Is this like redo, undo? Anyway. Oh, hold on. What are animations? I'm going to go with it. Like I said, I'm not a designer, so maybe somebody who was would say don't do that, but I'm going to go with it. I don't know what scheduling is. Looks like it's for like in-person stuff. With this, let go. Stop. All right, so it seems like a lot of these things are, I've kind of hit the end of the road as far as what I can do in trial mode. So I should probably upgrade. I think that's the right language. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to do the upgrade, but give me a sec. I'll be right back again. So I'm going to upgrade this so that I can actually see what it's like. I think I get a trial anyways, but at some point, probably paying annually would make sense. But since I don't really know if I even want this yet, I'm just going to do monthly. Custom domain, I already have one. SSL cert. Templates, contributors, mobile optimized. At least this business plan to get ecom. Unlimited products. I don't really need point of sale, but I guess I may as well do for $4 extra per month or when it's on the annual. Oh, interesting. I guess they want to get you on that and then they don't really give you a discount. Abandoned cart recovery. So I think the main thing that I'd be interested in are the that would make me go from here to here would be the 0% instead of 3%. And then the analytics. But abandoned cart recovery would be good too. You know, it is just it's just a free trial anyways. So maybe I just try it. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. $45. Okay, maybe I don't. Let's do this one because then we can get the analytics. Okay. I know I keep turning off the stream, but I gotta do it again. Boom, 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 boom. You know that credit card numbers have a built-in like validation scheme to them, even without going and checking if the number is valid. You can tell just by looking at the combination of numbers. I think that's pretty cool. Man, I should have used a promo code. Dang blast. Could have supported one of those many different podcasts or something I listen to. They're like Squarespace. Bummer, bummer, bummer. I had an opportunity and I missed it. Wendover. Okay. Okay, and then let me do this add a way to get paid. So I've got a Stripe account. I should probably try this one more time. This is the last time. I wonder if let me just double check my Stripe because I had it configured for a different thing, but I wonder if I should create a separate storefront. Oh, sorry, I'm going to leave this turned off. I just don't think it's prudent to have my account info and stuff out there. Boom, 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 boom. So as part of this, I'm going to create, I'm going to try creating another Stripe storefront. So it'll be just a minute. Yep, I'm still here. Just filling out a whole bunch of Stripe stuff. There's a thing called Stripe Atlas that I've been wanting to try, where it actually sets up like a legit C corp in Delaware for you. Pretty cool. Got an LLC here in Alaska that I use, but it was mainly meant just for my software consulting. So I'm wondering about, getting like other businesses and products underneath that. Be cool to have like a higher level company. Almost done. Stripe wants my website address, but there's nothing there. This is kind of like a, I don't know, kind of a weird web. I'm going to point, so in order to sign up for my Stripe, I need a website, and so I need to point it to Squarespace so that I can connect my Stripe to Squarespace. Kind of weird. Domains. All right, I can show this. This is like a pretty common thing. Actually, give me one more sec. Yeah, setting up DNS and stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. You can turn this back on. Cool. So I went into the setting up a domain for Squarespace, and this is like a common thing that they have you do. You need to point your DNS to them. So if I go in here to my control panel, and if I was using something else like, like GoDaddy, I think they would do the connection for me, but I use Domain Cost Club. GoDaddy has like $1 domain the first time you buy one, but then privacy is like $8, and then when it renews, it's like $19, and then plus the privacy is like $27. I can't tell you how much money I've spent on that because I'm kind of like a compulsive buyer. I'm like, yeah, I always think that I'm going to have like I can have these ideas. I'm like, oh, and then I buy the domain, the very first thing. It's pretty silly. But yeah, so let's point these. We got A records, and we need to point them to, so with a host CNAME to verify. All right, I want to use their zone editor. All right, we've got a CNAME with that as the name, and then the record value is this, and then we'll have it be like, I don't know, half an hour. Okay, we've got www. Cool. CNAME to extension customer or something like that. All right, and then you got the @ symbol to this. I forget what the @ symbol is. Is it our A record? Yeah, 198.185. We'll do that again for this one. Let's do that for this one. And then we'll do that for this one. And sometimes these take a minute to actually update. Let's try test connection. What if I need to do like a DNS flush? Because it looks like that should be set up correctly, right? Let me get these side by side. We've got this name is going to verify, and we've got the www is going to that. Both CNAMEs, we've got that @ record, @ record, @ record, @ record. Yeah, but sometimes it can really take like up to 24, 48 hours. It's kind of a long time, but it's having to propagate through like the whole internet, so I guess you can't blame it. What you can do sometimes is OSX DNS flush. I always forget the name of this. Come on, Mojave. Okay. Cool. What's this WS? I don't know what that's about. How can I point my root domain to www, ensure you have a proper www, and then insert following record at this. So all those flush things again. It's like, hey, pick the year-long plan. It's the exact same price as the regular plan. So I prefer not to use that. I have so many G Suite things. I actually need to shut them down. Depending on who your host is, sometimes you can set up just email forwarding. So maybe we'll get to that at some point. Ironic audiobooks. Yeah, email forwarding. So you can set up this catch-all and say it's like the ironic audiobooks at gmail.com. Right, and then then it's just like you could use like help at whatever. And what's cool is that when you come into this email box, you can set up be able to send email as. I'll show that in the settings. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so maybe it's accounts. Forwarding. No. General. There's like a send as. Inbox. Advanced. No. Here, okay. Add another address. So we could do it as help at ironicaudiobooks.com. I don't know what an alias means. Okay, same mailbox or not same mailbox? So let's not treat it as an alias. Okay, we'll treat it as an alias. What? I want to be able to send it through Gmail. Huh. Maybe that's only worked because of it being G Suite. Okay, I'll have to come back to that. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off again one more time and then do the rest of the Stripe setup. I don't know why it keeps redirecting me to some .ws. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to delete their example of the 6470 thing. Oh man, it's a beautiful day out. It's a good day to be alive. I'm setting up DNS. We'll open this back up since we're not quite there. So sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. So we want this www to go to to this. All right, I'm going to give up on it for a minute since this is probably just about delaying. Let me see if I can get the Stripe one more time. Okay, so I just put in a different website for Stripe. Let me see if I can get the. So what I want is like the payments from the Squarespace to go to that marketplace or whatever. Billing and account. Where did I get to that? I thought it was in settings, but maybe it's in commerce. Payments. Stripe. I'm going to try disconnecting this and try connecting one more time. I know I keep turning this off and it sucks, but just again. Yeah, okay, sweet. Now I can connect to a different storefront on Stripe. That makes me happy. Because then it's like it's tied to a different bank account and stuff like that. Maybe more fancier than it needs to, but it makes me feel better. Cool. All right. So now that I don't have that to distract me, what are we going to do now? Oh, right. So the whole reason was to be able to test this. All right. So let's actually look at it. Can we see the live site? Site availability, public. Oh, maybe that's why I was redirecting weird. Go public. Still redirecting to that weird AWS thing, which I don't like at all. I wonder if I used like different browser. Yep, it still is going to a weird place. That's all right. Maybe I can at least look at it this way. So great. Shop all the things. I blinked twice. That looked terrible. Should take away that animation. Check out. Let me know when new books or deals are available. Let me do like a promo. Discounts. Let's add a new one. Discount code. $100% off. Any order. No limits. No limits. Starts now. Never expires. So if we went back, I don't know why they need my billing address still. I'm sure there's a better way to do this than the way I'm doing it, to block it out, but okay, because the domain's not set up, it did a redirect to an unsafe place. But I think it's the WS subdomain because it doesn't have the. Yeah, so I did the whole checkout thing, and then it went to this. So I don't know if I'll be able to check it until I do this thing. Unless did it come through? Come through. Sweet, your digital downloads order. All right. I can't believe I say this, but after all the looking at the different platforms, I think Squarespace might be the right one. That's pretty cool. So I should probably take a break and get some fresh air. What is next? Well, I've got audio files for Alice in Wonderland, so adding a second product. I guess customizing the Shopify. Sorry, I keep saying Shopify, but I mean Squarespace. 12 books. We've got the Hound, the Baskervilles. Let's do Alice in Wonderland, or this is actually. What if we could do both? Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm assuming that once this DNS thing fleshes out. Yeah, we could do both of them, Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I think those are often paired together. I don't know. We'll see how big they are. Maybe they deserve to. So what are some other ones? I was looking the other day at the Goodreads top public domain. Yes. So best children's books, adventure, sci-fi, classics. But I think there was just like a plain Goodreads public domain books. I don't know what the difference is between a tag and a shelf in there. Yeah. So, I've never actually read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I would love to. I've read Frankenstein, liked it. Jane Eyre, liked it. Dracula, liked it. seen the movie Pride and Prejudice. I don't know if I read it. Christmas Carol, Huck Finn, Time Machine. Oz, number one. Man, I bet Count of Monte Cristo is pretty long. Little Women. I don't know why I'm opening all these. I mean, okay, so I had said 12, and that might even be a stretch to get done today. Let's take out of the top this many. I don't know how many this is. What? Okay. Frankenstein, Jane Eyre, Dracula, Prejudice, Arrow, Huck Finn, Jean. Just think about what I would want to read. There's so many of these. What a silly statement. There's a lot of books. How far down are we? Pretty far. Okay, we'll keep going. Yeah, we're almost done. Dr. Moreau, Sense and Sensibilities, Emma. Right, so out of these 50, I think, dang. But some of these are like really long, like Crime and Punishment and stuff. Great Expectations. These are like classic, but really long ones. Les Mis is really long. I want to keep it short and keep it kind of light. Maybe focus on ones that I've either read and liked and would want to read again right now. Just thinking about the selfish reasons, I guess. Like, yeah, I've never read the Iliad, and I've always meant to, but I love Sherlock Holmes. This was number 2, 20,000 Leagues. Voyages. 6. Okay. So this is Goodreads public domain list. Pick art. So we've got 2 already. We've got Baskerville. You know what? Let's downgrade. Let's just say we're going to do. Now let's do 12. Got Baskerville and Alice in Wonderland. Through the Looking Glass. Let's do Baskerville Looking Glass. I would love to read the picture of Dorian Gray. Pictures of Huck Finn. Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Is this 15? Let's not do this Alice in Wonderland. Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer. So, Sherlock Holmes, 2 Alice in Wonderlands, classic. These Guys, kids. That one's fun. I would love to reread this. Three Musketeers, War of the Worlds, Sense and Sensibility. Sense and Sensibility versus Pride and Prejudice. What are the two stories? Both by Jane Austen. The Dashwood Sisters. Okay, I've seen that movie. What is Pride and Prejudice? Bennett. Okay, Pride and Prejudice. Okay, let's do Pride and Prejudice. I can't say that I've seen that movie. Which has who in it? Mr. Darcy. Cool. Pride and Prejudice it is. All right. I think that's pretty good. That's a good start. 12. I'll put these here. And then the other thing I'd be interested in looking at is what is it called? Web functions. What is that company called? Um, mm, I thought it was like it's not a, it's a .io. No. Prototyper, Figma. What I'm wondering is like Webtask. Wee. I want to pull a Webtask. Making it so that if I upload something to, like if I upload some chapter files, could it do the processing for me? Um, oh, dang blast. Well, that's a bummer. Hmm. Scotch? No. I wonder if maybe they just canceled it. Anyways, I was just trying to figure out if there's a way to like, I don't know, with a little bit of command line stuff, not have to do it all by hand, but maybe not. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna take a break. Come back. We'll finish the site and process some more stuff, and hopefully the DNS will be done and call it a night. All right, y'all. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.